So let's take a look and pull up this clip, and we're just gonna hear out what Ahmpy has to say.
I lost interest. I was addicted to the game, and I feel like I completely lost my touch with the game. I got kind of like unimmersed, and I realized when I came back that like I was like not really enjoying the mid-game experience.
Okay.
I wasn't really. I didn't like how it played with like birdhouse runs, farm runs.
I understand the dailies.
And basically, I came to the conclusion that like I'm just taking a break from RuneScape right now. I'm not gonna play for a bit, and when I do go back, I'm gonna de-iron and just focus on clearing the bosses. I have no interest in doing dailies in a bullshit game.
This is exactly how I was starting to feel last Friday when we had the whole talk about, hey guys, you know, this is what I like doing. Do I de-iron and just go for Zuckhelm? And it seems like Ampie is starting to feel the same way. Like the grinding the skills is not for him. Grinding a boss 1,000 times, totally fine. Grinding the skills so you can, to get the supplies so you can go grind the bosses, not necessarily for him. I understand that. And WoW players were very PVM orientated. We're not skillers. WoW players have never had to do skills. We have been taught that the game is combat and getting the gear and nothing else matters. And we will tolerate a very small amount of skilling so that ultimately we can go and do the combat and get the gear. So it is what it is. Now, RuneScape is a game of pride that prides itself on skilling. The Ironmen especially pride themselves on skilling, and they pride themselves on not wasting an iron. They never want to waste an Ironman. Any time spent, even if it's like 5 minutes on an Ironman, people are like, save that account. You might want to go back to it someday. And I've noticed that. And so the term de-iron is very taboo in RuneScape. People don't like that term because you can just create a main and do the content over again and kind of get to the same spot your iron is almost as quickly, especially if you take handouts, right? And so I see exactly what Ampie is saying. And I think that going for Zuckhelm, going for Infernals, going for these things would keep WoW players around longer. And I do think that Ironman is killing WoW players' interest in the game. For everybody except for Joker. He really enjoys the skilling part of the game. So I don't think that a lot of WoW players should have played Ironmans. In hindsight, it's starting to appear like it's not for them. I would rather see them de-iron or play a main and keep playing than like feel forced to play an Ironman. And I do believe that the community is almost shaming them into staying iron or quitting. Like I really feel like the streamers are kind of feeling like that. And ultimately they choose to quit instead of de-iron because the community is honestly bullying them into staying Ironman. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it wasn't that way. But we're going to listen to the full interview with Ampie and Jimmy. We're going to see what he's saying. We're going to hear him out. And maybe one day Ampie will come back, whether he de-irons or not, and he'll go for the Zuckhelm, and that'll be great. And I think that he would truly, really enjoy this part of RuneScape. The Infernal Cape grind that I'm on right now is so much fun, and I know that WoW players would love it, love this challenge. And this is honestly the best part of the game for me, has been the process of going through the Infernal Cape, and I'm only like 11 attempts in the Inferno, and I'm loving every single time I get to go in there and do it. Anyways, guys, that's where we're at today. We're just taking a look into the reasonings behind why people are quitting, and we're going to listen in on this interview with Jimmy and Ampie now.
Old School, where I'm interviewing some of World of Warcraft's most recognized creators, asking them about their perspectives and their experiences on two of gaming's most popular MMORPGs. This next guest, game knowledge is an understatement of what he possesses. He knows way too much about classic World of Warcraft. If you kept up with OnlyFans Season 2, this guy was almost World First 60, except World of Warcraft, the classic World of Warcraft, kind of crashes sometimes, and it crashed. So he wasn't the first to 60. But that's besides the point. He's also raid leaded some of the craziest accomplishments in all of hardcore World of Warcraft. He's constantly on the front lines. You've probably seen highlights and clips of him. We're talking with Ampie.
The GOAT.
This has bugged me for a while because I've gotten mixed answers on this. Ahmpy or Ampie?
Either or.
Either or.
Depends where you're from.
That's the worst
I
answer.
get Ampie too.
Wait, what do you get?
Amphi.
Amphi. Right,
That's the European version. I say Ampie.
I've heard people say
you
that.
say Ampie. Okay, I'm gonna say Ampie then because it's from the source. All right. Well, Ampie, how long have you been playing World of Warcraft? When did you start? When did you pick it up?
That's my whole life. Like straight up, I started playing when I was like 6 years old, running around and just like doing nothing, right? You know, the classic, you know, your parents play games, they get you into it just a little bit. You know, you're just kind of like walking around on a character. I did that for like pretty much all of classic. Like, you know, you played some classics, you know, my highest level character in classic WoW was level 30. So
over like how long? Like what period?
the whole classic.
Oh,
like
the whole
over
classic.
Over a year, right? So like, you know, like 6, 7 year old me.
Dude, Ampie is like 10 or 11 years younger than me. And he was playing Classic WoW at the same time as me. And I played Classic WoW when I was like in high school when it came out. So Ampie's been playing almost the same amount of time as me.
He ended up killing a couple boars along the way. So I've been playing since then. That was like 2005-ish, probably when I started playing. My parents were in like the open beta or whatever, the closed beta for WoW Classic. So they were like pretty big into it.
So did you take like any big breaks in between then and now, or have you just kind of?
To be honest, not like extended breaks. Like maybe like, you know, a couple months where I didn't really play that much. But I've pretty much been like, my one game has been World of Warcraft for as long as I can remember.
It's been the heart of your gaming, basically,
right.
Just your home base. Yeah. I was curious just because every MMO.
Yeah.
I'm 36 and bald as well. Yo, cheers, brother. And just to one up it, I'm drinking out of a dad cup. I have no kids, by the way. These dad cups are just on sale at the store.
Got those like eras where a lot of people are taking breaks.
You know, like old school wasn't really a thing for a while too, right? Where, you know, you had like RuneScape and then it progressed. And then there was this gap, this like dark age, right? Before old school RuneScape came out again. That happened with WoW too, but it was way longer. It was 2005 to 2019 before anything came out. So what I actually did was
2005 to 2019.
Right.
Oh, because of classic.
Right.
Yeah.
No classic. Anyways, yeah. I mean, TVC was really good. Wrath was decent, but no, I ended up playing private servers. So I was always playing, even during the times where people were taking breaks from the game. I just went to private servers and I started playing like classic again.
Yeah, the parallels between WoW and RuneScape world, just because in like 2011, I guess 2012 was when the Evolution of Combat update. I'm sure you've heard whispers of that.
I haven't. I don't know what that means.
No,
I don't know what that means. I'm completely noob in the RuneScape world still. Like I've grinded, but I don't know any backstory.
Oh man. All right, I'll keep it as brief as possible, because if I don't keep it brief, I will be yapping your ear off for 2 hours straight. But essentially in 2012, like, you know, the combat, in RuneScape right now, you know, click, running on the tick system, everything. In 2012, they were pressured by the higher ups and the shareholders to figure out a way to modernize the game, because they had just been completely screwed with like losing players left and right. They were like taking away the free trade. Like you literally couldn't give somebody else GP. Like this was pre Ironman or anything. Like everybody was just playing it like a normal MMO. And there was a ton of shady things going on and trying to figure out how to moderate it all. So their conclusion was, we need to modernize the game and create a whole new combat system. So they introduced a hotbar with abilities. They changed the way that special attacks work. Like they took special attacks out of the game pretty much.
Dude, this same thing in a lot of MMOs, especially Star Wars Galaxies and RuneScape 3, where they tried to make the game like WoW. they changed the combat to just be World of Warcraft, it always fails. It's never good.
Much. You know, you had to start using your keyboard for pressing
So
your
they went from RuneScape
abilities.
to WoW.
It was essentially a leap to try and have somewhat of a WoW combat system. Yeah.
Right.
And that made nobody happy. Like the whole game quit, basically. It was the lowest of low.
I bet.
And then a year later, we got old school runes because of how.
Oh, wow. Wait, it was that early?
It was a
Old School
year.
RuneScape in like 2013?
Yeah, 2013 was old school RuneScape, and 2012 was
That's
DOC.
crazy.
It
Dude.
was
I don't
very
even
quick.
think I remember. I don't even remember hearing about old school RuneScape until like late, maybe 2018. Kind of like that's so far.
Yeah, that
I
would
didn't
make
even
sense.
know it existed. I
That
thought
makes
it
sense,
was
yeah.
much closer to classic.
Yeah, 2013. We didn't get our first, to put some context in it, 2016 was the first time we got our first quest, like exclusive old school quest, Monkey Madness 2. That was the first time we ever got like actual content in like a like a classic plus kind of vibe of like, oh, we're
Right.
creating our own
New stuff.
storyline. Like they had little snips like agility rooftops. That was an old school thing. That was probably one of the first ones. Nightmare Zone. I don't even know if you've seen Nightmare Zone. It's pretty irrelevant nowadays, but
I've never seen it.
yeah, that was like one of our first updates. But
I haven't done NMZ
yeah, it was
yet.
very quick after the whole evolution of combat thing. There's like 40 documentaries about it because of how crazy it was. Like you'll probably
That's
stumble
crazy.
upon
I
it.
didn't know about that at all.
Yeah, it's
So that was
pretty
like
nuts.
the big update that killed it.
It was,
Got it.
yeah. I guess to kind of backtrack, because like I said, I'll
NMZ
talk
is
about this
pointless
for an hour
now?
if I don't moderate
Yeah,
myself
sorry, I'm really
here.
bad at rabbit holes.
I'm so
I'm
down
really
for
bad
rabbit
at it.
holes. Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's
So
the
I guess
old gym
to
crab.
kind of go back to the World of Warcraft stuff, given the just the general community, like there's all this stuff recently of a bunch of WoW guys kind of saying, you know, I'm taking a break from classic for now. There's nothing really to do anymore. And then there's people kind of returning for. I just heard that the Legion remix came out. So like with all that in mind of what's going on, what is your general opinion of the World of Warcraft world right now over there? Just general glance, no specific,
Like the community.
just the community, the state of the game. Like just when you think about
Well-
World of Warcraft, what's on your mind?
I can't speak at all to the retail side of things. There's like, like it's just like RuneScape where there's like two versions of the game really.
Right.
I play a classic exclusively. I haven't touched retail in like 5 years.
Gotcha.
So when I talk from my perspective, that's where I'm coming from. But as a classic player,
Dude, I would love to see Ampie do a series where he tries retail WoW and he goes and raid leads over there. Because Ampie's known as like the raid leader of Classic. I would love to see him like try it. Like go try Mythic raid leading in retail WoW. I know he doesn't like retail WoW, but I think that would be a good series for him.
I see that people are very frustrated right now, as in a general sense.
Mhm.
There are people that are just happy to be there. Of course, they're just playing their game. Especially people who are newer to the game are like happy right now. But it's like starting to get to me the Blizzard model where they're not really making content; they're just re-releasing it.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing is it's all time gated. So the newest servers, anniversary servers, came out. Oh God, like maybe last year or something. I think it was
Yeah,
end
it was
of
like
last
around.
year.
I'm sorry if I'm not able to respond to everyone, guys, but my name right here is the bottom left. You can always look at anyone's RuneScape account and figure out what their name is at the bottom left, and you can see if they're an Ironman. If it's a red helmet, they're hardcore. If they have no helmet, they're a main, okay? That's how it works in RuneScape. It took me a long time to figure that out. But if you ever want to know what someone's name is on a stream, you just look down here. Also, somebody said hello earlier, and I didn't say hi. I meant to say hi to you. First time chatter, it was Andrew. What's up, Andrew? When I'm listening to these interviews, guys, I'll be a bit less responsive in chat. I apologize for that.
We're around the time like didn't we like launch OnlyFans
What's
the
up,
same
JPC?
time that they came out?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, it was. So yeah, end of last year. It's like if they released leagues, but they weren't like really interesting,
Yeah.
and they were time gated. That's basically like the vibe with the server. It's just I don't know. I feel kind of like at a point where I'm just kind of over the classic. Like I've been playing classic for so long, and I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
And I know some people, especially people who have been raiding a long time, are like pretty frustrated because it's just like the same thing. There's no updates.
Right. It's because I mean, I guess the general play style, like once you're, especially in classic, I guess it applies to most versions of World of Warcraft, but once you're at that max level, you're essentially just raid logging once a week for the most part, right? Unless you're like making a new character. So I guess that would make sense of just feeling that burnout. I actually have it written down for the video essay I'm doing on this of just how World of Warcraft's format and its structure and its gameplay loop.
I feel what Ahmpy's saying there. Like, you know, Classic has been out a really long time. I mean, can you imagine how many people would be playing RuneScape if there was zero new content after they re-released the game in 2013? Like, you just have the 2013 game. That's it. How many people are actually playing old school RuneScape? You know, probably not that many. If they're not releasing new stuff to the game, it would be pretty much dead. And that's where Classic WoW is right now. I mean, it's just there with no updates. And so it needs the old school RuneScape treatment. And I understand why Ahmpy's kind of frustrated with that. And everybody kind of is. And that's why Classic Plus, people are already putting it in their stream titles. Classic Plus waiting room. Guys, Classic Plus is at least minimum, at least 10 to 11 months away. At least. And people are already putting it in their stream titles. It is crazy how badly people want this and need this game.
Is essentially a recipe for burnout, just giving people free burnout just because of the way that, you know, you gotta play.
The worst thing, bro, is that for me, it's not burnout. It's like,
is it even announced? Guys, how Blizzard does it is they put hints that they're working on another version of a game, which they've said. The Classic devs have said, a guy named Agren has said it in an interview with Hammer Dance, and it's been leaked already multiple other times, as well as Datamine and stuff like this. So it's coming. Has it been officially announced? No. Do you know why it's not officially announced? Because they want to sell tickets to BlizzCon, where they will announce it live in front of a bunch of Giga nerds. It is a strategy, and they've been doing it for years. And those tickets go on sale to BlizzCon literally tomorrow, and I will be going. I've never been to BlizzCon. If I could pick any year to go to BlizzCon, it would be next year at the announcement of Classic Plus. This has to be the best BlizzCon year ever, in my opinion.
Noticing the pattern. I don't know if you know this. So WoW schedules their releases in a way such that you subscribe the longest.
Gotcha.
That's how it's designed. So they're gonna release one thing and drip feed you content once a month, so you stay subscribed. And it's like little tiny things. So they'll do a classic WoW patch, and then they'll do an XYZ version patch, and then they'll do a retail patch, and then they'll rotate it back. And it's like this, like the way I say it, I don't know if this is like weird, but like I'm tired of getting milked by the company, you know, like that's literally how it feels. You're just sitting there, and it's just like you're waiting for your turn to get an update, and then it's just a little thing, and you're like,
yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good as a player. It especially when Blizzard has like all of their resources tied to their main game. So the actual classic team, I don't know if you know, manages two versions of the game. Well, three now with SOD. So they had SOD Classic, and then like the progressed Classic, which is now in MOP.
Mm-hmm. And
it's
hardcore.
Like a 5-person team.
And
they're in charge
hardcore.
of those three versions.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know.
Hardcore is its own version of the game. They had to change quests. They had to change items. They had to change abilities at some point to make it so like paladins couldn't bubble hearth anymore and stuff like that. So yeah, they're managing more than that, actually. It's crazy. And then there's two different timelines there's two different sets of hardcore servers and two different sets of classic servers. It's crazy. And they have such a small team.
So
I didn't know it was like
it's
just that little of a
as
team.
shit. It's very neglected from the company perspective. Not that the people working on it are trying very hard.
Yeah.
But the actual company behind the uppers, like working on it, don't see it as a viable like game or something. I don't know. Not monetizing it, whatever. So the game is like literally, I say this all the time, but it's like classic minus. over time they've been like breaking things. My go-to example is that there are boss mechanics, core boss mechanics that no longer work, that are
Really?
just that have not worked for years.
Damn. So how does
Like
that even
green
happen?
dragons.
Like, how does
Yeah,
that...
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah, that is true. I never thought about it like that. How do you feel about the direction of Blizzard is taking by adding more cash shop currencies? I don't know what those are because I don't visit the cash shop. I'm sorry. I can't even speak to that. I don't like any form of like paying for stuff, even cosmetics. I don't really care about cosmetics that much. So I don't really pay attention to it.
like the content that is provided is broken as well.
Damn. Is
And,
it just because they're putting in like straight up old patches that weren't hot?
It's because
Fixed or anything?
they're all working on the same client. So classic, the vanilla.
Unless it's a cosmetic that you earn. Like I really care about Zuck Helmet. Like if you can earn it by putting in lots of time and skill into the game, love it. Absolutely love it. If you can buy it with your credit card, hate it.
Version, classic mop, and classic sod are all on the same client. And for whatever reason, things bleed through to the other versions.
Weird.
So you're getting like an update. And I think that this is just a lack of people, right? Because obviously this shouldn't happen, but it's probably like, maybe somebody's going too fast or it's sloppy work, whatever, it didn't get reviewed, whatever. They'll release a patch and then it's like, oh, you can buy runes in normal classic now. I don't know if you're familiar with sod, but it's like a special ability.
Yeah.
Right. So you can do that. It didn't do anything, but it was just like weird. Boss mechanics start working differently. They'll start targeting different people they never did before. So strats have to change slightly. And it's just weird. And I feel like that's the most we get. And that sucks. That sucks to see.
That does suck. I can't believe there's that little people working on it. I expected, like, are you, like, that's confirmed that there's only like 5 people working on all those things?
Well,
or is that just how it's...
I think they've added more people to the team, obviously, now that they're getting the Classic Plus going. The biggest thing was the Classic department had to use the retail team's art department because Classic didn't have an art department. So they would have to put in like work orders and send it over to the retail team as like, hey, we need new art for these gears. And that's why in Season of Discovery, you had reused zones, reused areas. You had recolors of like TBC gear was like the gear for Scarlet Monastery. You had like a bunch of reused assets and items, like the NPCs were wearing the same gear that dropped in Scarlet Monastery, all this stuff. Like it was all reused assets because it was what Classic had to do to cut corners to try and, get the things that the player base wanted in there, which was one new raid. Because let's be honest, SOD would have probably really been looked at as a huge failure if it wasn't for the Scarlet Monastery patch. Like the Scarlet Monastery patch, in my opinion, saved the whole idea of SOD. Like Scarlet Monastery was fun. I enjoyed that patch.
I mean, I've met the Classic team. It's very small.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. It would make sense. It seems like they've
It's
never
not,
really
it's
been...
not 5, but like they really don't have many people.
Yeah, I get
Scarlet
what you
Enclave,
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Blizzard hasn't really acknowledged it as something worth putting a bigger team onto yet, if ever. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but when we did like a tour of their like office at some point, like a lot of streamers and I don't know, dude, there's probably like 15 to 20 people max, but that's like including like managers and like not really like people working on it day to day.
Yeah.
They're obviously very understaffed.
Before we get into the old school conversation, I just wanted to touch on your personal background here, just because me and Sardaco talked very briefly about just like the huge challenges that you guys did with like hardcore and everything. So like, can you just give a brief background on like how you got into this more serious play style and like just this surge into like guild / raid leading and having all this knowledge and just being, quote unquote, a sweat, like just how that became like who you are as a player.
I started playing on private servers back to that earlier conversation. I started playing on private servers around like 2014. I was tryharding on private servers.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mentioned.
raiding, bro. I was raiding 4 times a week. But of course, I'm PST. Have you ever been on like EST schedule on PST?
Yeah,
With like it's terrible.
it's awful.
By
Yeah.
the way, so
PST,
my raid was at,
low key guys, as a streamer, PST worst time zone. You have to be up early as hell because like peak time on Twitch is 2 p.m. CST, which is noon West. And then a lot of times you're catering for EU. So you've got to be a morning person if you're PST. Like you got to be like a Zaryu type of person who wakes up at like 6 a.m., has a coffee, goes on a run type shit if you live West.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
I get out of school at like 3 p.m. So I'm like, there were times where like I'm like running home to make my raid. And
It's brutal.
but I was committed, man. I really was. I was committed. We were raiding 4 times a week. We were progressing Nax in Classic WoW on private servers, and it was great. I loved it, and that's what really got me into Classic because I was too young to really experience it the first time around. So I was playing private servers, and that's what really got me started in Classic WoW stuff. I was playing on a server called Warsong Phoenix, which was old, hosted in Russia, 250 ping to connect to it, and really sketchy. Like some crazy rich guy would come in and buy characters for his entire guild. They'd clear stuff and they'd all quit. Like it was just like such a weird landscape. Early private servers sketchy as shit. They still kind of are, but they're like more businesses now, I feel like.
Yeah, I've seen all that stuff recently with
like Turtle WoW.
Turtle
and like
WoW,
these,
yeah.
these like big, almost like conglomerates working on like multiple private servers.
Mhm.
It's really fascinating to me the whole. Anyways, yeah. So I played on private servers. I played on so many. Back then, the way you played was whatever new server came out. Every time
Mhm.
you're leveling to 60. You were doing the raids and then you quit, and then you level to 60 and you do the raids and you quit.
Right.
And that was the cycle. It was really fun, honestly. The most fun part for me is that first rush where you got like 3 weeks of nonstop content and you don't sleep, you don't shower, and it's just pure sweat.
Yeah.
That's my environment, dude.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from.
That is the most fun time to play WoW.
Fell in love with that
Right,
journey to max sort of thing.
Yeah, and on those journeys, I started getting in touch with my speedrunning side. So I started running it faster and faster and faster, and I started practicing it. And so my first classic server, like first in Classic 2019, my goal was to get server first 60.
Mhm.
That was my goal. So that was my first like kind of thing on the 2019 servers, the classic servers. I didn't end up getting it. I tried really hard. I ended up playing I slept like 6 hours over the course of like 5 days. It was really bad.
God.
Like, it was
A lot of the private servers, a lot of the private servers that have been getting shut down, they did have new content, and they were basically just stealing the Blizzard IP and making new content with like they have their own art team and everything, and they're designing new gear and fight mechanics and making new zones and improving class design, and they're doing everything that the community is asking for. And so Blizzard has sued them and made them shut it down. And and then now if I was Blizzard, I would just steal everything that they did that was working and make it their own. Like, these guys have already done the work for you. Very similar to RuneScape, when a lot of people are sending in like very detailed diagrams on how to fix smithing, because smithing is a lot of stuff in smithing and RuneScape has been kind of useless for years. And people are sending in like, hey, this is what I would do to like fix it. And they send in a whole like thing on how to do it. Or there's like a private server that just has cooler features than what's going on right now. And it's a lot of things that people are asking for. So that's kind of like what WoW is battling. It's like, hey, if you're not going to give it to us, we're going to do it ourselves. That's the mentality of Classic WoW. Like, people love Classic WoW. And Blizzard has just waited too long to come out with a Classic Plus. And SOD was their, I believe that SOD was their testing ground to figure out, to gauge interest on Classic Plus. And they're like, okay, yeah, this is something we need to do. And now they're working on it, but they can't announce that they're working on it until BlizzCon. Which is going to be next year.
really, really, really bad. But I ended up getting like second solo character. So that's how I kind of started. And then once the servers were out, I was just raiding a lot. I mean, I had like started with one character, and then you're in the raid log stage. So I'm like, oh, I'll level another one.
Yeah.
Then you got 2 characters you're rating on. Then I level a mage because I'm like, wait, if I'm going to level characters, I got to level them quick because mages can level your alts.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
leveled a mage, and then I leveled 5 more characters. So I ended up having like 8 or 9 characters that I rated on weekly by the end of Classic. So I was just a raid fiend. I was waking up, raiding 4 or 5 times a day, getting world buffs, going to sleep, and raiding again. That was my like cycle for like 3 months at the end of Classic.
Wow.
And then at the end
what
of
you do.
Classic, someone named Cargos was like really hyping up hardcore Classic WoW, which back then wasn't a version of the game. It was an add-on.
Yeah,
It was an add-on,
I
like
remember the
Ultra
add-on.
Hardcore is right now, where
Yeah, I've heard about
you
that, Lucid.
put the add-on on, and if you die, it says you died.
Yep.
And it was up to the community to not cheat. It was supposed to be still found. It was a challenge mode. And I started that with my friend Dax, and we do it up. We died. We do it up, and we never made it to 60. We stopped at 58. TBC came out. That was the first hardcore experience that I had. TBC stuff was really exciting. And then came out with another server called Season of Mastery. And that's where like the first challenge was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Cargos reached out and was like, we're doing this challenge, Road to Ragnaros. I want you to raid lead it.
Yeah.
Road to Ragnaros was the first hardcore raid that happened in WoW, I think. I don't know what year it was, but middle of TBC, SOM comes out. We didn't know until it came out, like the week or 2 before. They actually buffed the raids like a lot. So we were going into it with the idea like, yeah, we're gonna do Molten Core. It's easy. I mean, you saw only things. It was so easy, right?
Yeah.
So they buffed it. They disallowed world buffs. You can't world buff in the raid. They buffed the boss HP by like 100%, and they added new mechanics for every boss.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that was SOM. And not a lot of people know about SOM.
Is Infernal harder than Mythic rating? Mythic retail rating is very hard, but it's different. It's apples to oranges, guys. And I don't really like comparing apples to oranges because when you do, somebody gets offended that oranges are better than apples. And it's just annoying. However, I'll say this. As a solo player experience, the tick, like mastering like tick manipulation is very, very, very challenging at first, like almost to the point where you feel like it's impossible. And then once you start getting it, it's literally like playing an instrument, and you just get better at playing that instrument. And then one day you're like pretty good at playing that instrument because you just keep playing it. And so RuneScape is a lot like learning an instrument for the first time. And I will say that that's very hard to do. It's not easy. And Mythic rating, you're really just honestly, like, I'm sure like somebody like JPC can attest to this, but even at the world first level, like, dude, you can have your shit down and you could do 100 attempts in a row perfect. And you guys are kind of just waiting on like 1 or 2 people to figure it out. And that's usually you have like 1 or 2 people just holding back your entire group because you need their damage in order to like kill the boss. And it can be a bit frustrating because everyone knows who like those 1 or 2 people are. But if you start calling them out, then it gets real toxic and then everyone starts playing worse. And so Mythic rating is like a social game of like waiting for everybody else to like do their job. And then every now and then you can have a mistake and it's like, crap, I just held the whole group back on that attempt, right? No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, but you just got to do enough pulls until there's one pull where everyone does their job. And then you kill the boss. And so you're just continuing to do just however many pulls it takes for the boss to die. Although in Race to World First is not because they're holding you back. It's usually because they have a harder job. Yeah, it can be exactly like that. It's like, somebody's got to do the hardest mechanic. Somebody's got to do something crazy. And, he ends up dying. So like, then you got to B-res him, get him back up. And now you just lost that little chunk of damage. And then boom, you get the boss to like 0.4%. And you're like, shit, well, if he didn't die on that mechanic, we would have killed the boss right there. And so now you need another one of those pulls. And at the world first level, it's totally different because even sometimes when it's like they're playing perfectly, then they need a specific group comp to squeeze a little bit more DPS. And then even then they need like a good RNG pull where like everyone's critting and nobody dies. And so then it gets really crazy. And naturally in WoW, you just do more damage. The more you pull a boss, the more damage you do because people get into a rhythm. And you just get into this rhythm where like you're just min-maxing each tick. And when you're min-maxing every tick, you do way more damage. Like on Yama, for instance, if you hit every single tick, like on Yama, when you're doing your movements, you go RoboCop and you do more damage. So the more you pull the boss equals more damage. And then the less mistakes, you kill the boss quicker kind of thing. But usually you're like, in regular mythic rating, from my experience, we're always waiting on like 1, 2, 3 guys to like figure it out. You know, they're just kind of like having bad pulls. So you can't really compare them.
That was their first take on like updated classic raids, and a lot of people don't even know. They didn't play it.
Yeah, I feel like I've only heard whispers of the
it's
mastery one.
Yeah, it wasn't big at all. I think the timing was too quick. They released classic, and then TBC was like 3 months in when they started Psalm.
Yeah,
it's like people just finished their classic like no life runs, and they released it again. We did Psalm hardcore. It took us 2.5 months to clear it. We full cleared it. Only ever 2 deaths in MC. And then I was told that was almost like a proof of concept for hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe hardcore servers could be a thing. And then, so that was my hardcore challenge stuff. I ended up playing something called Hardcore All Stars as well later on.
So you had a ton of exposure to all this, like all these hardcores that you're so used to avoiding death on World of Warcraft, which is so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's been like kind of my go-to challenge for so long.
Yeah, to just jump ahead a little bit. Is the guild name Frontier? Is that the right name of it? So could you explain what that is, like just in general?
Yeah, that's actually right now. 2023. Yeah, that's about right. There were whispers on the wind about a hardcore server.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really sparked it. There was like, oh, we're doing Hardcore All Stars, dude.
This is when I figured out, this is when I met Ampie, is right what he's talking about right now. It was like 2023. And I applied to Frontier, and I had recently started playing hardcore, not streaming or anything like that. I had recently started playing hardcore, and I liked it. And I was like, oh shoot, these guys are going for world first KT kill on hardcore official launch. Like, we're getting an official WoW server for hardcore. Like, this is a massive deal that the first time where an add-on has been made into like the actual game. Like, they've made a game mode for an add-on, basically like how Bodhi and Foe invented Ironman. Now they're implementing Ironman into the game. And so we're all, like, Ironman is about to release. Like, day one Ironman is about to release, right? Hardcore Ironman. And we have a guild, and we're all trying to go for world first KT. And like, that's where I got to know a lot of the WoW players. That's where I became a WoW player, a WoW streamer and all that right around this time.
He said, she said, they said, maybe there's going to be a hardcore server one day.
Were you in on the KT kill? No, I died on 2 warriors, and then I leveled a hunter. So in like all the span of like 6 weeks, I had leveled 3 hardcore characters to 60, and I was waiting outside of Nax because if enough people died, I was going to have to go in. I was in the first wave of them clearing bosses in Nax to try and get gear so that we could go in and kill KT. And then after like a few Nax lights, I ended up dying again. And then from there, it was just me trying to level back up so I could make the KT kill, which unfortunately I wasn't able to be a part of it. So it was kind of sad to watch from the outside, but I still felt like I was a part of the journey. You know, it was just fun to be a part of that because nobody knew who I was or anything at that point. I didn't have any claim to any spot or anything. I was just trying to earn my spot at that point in time. And it was a lot of fun. That Frontier, and then immediately after Frontier, OnlyFans started. And I was like, dude, this is too good to be true. Like, hardcore is popping off right now. Like, we just did the world first KT kill. Then I started streaming. Then I applied to be in OnlyFans. And then from there, like, it just kind of took off. And it was a lot of fun in that moment in time. OnlyFans won, and after Frontier, it was just a really fun time to play classic WoW.
So we started a guild. That's kind of how Frontier started. I invited a lot of the people who were in the competition, who have been around for a long time.
Watching Jimmy's interview with Ampie.
I reached out to like pretty much everybody, and it was like this weird like gamer net. We kind of tried to get the best hardcore people, the best like classic raiders, whatever, prep them for the idea of a hardcore server with the goal, of course, of clearing everything world first.
Gotcha. Speedrun hardcore.
Exactly. Yeah. So we did it. The servers came out. Half of our raid roster had died and quit. It was rough, man. We were raiding 6 times a week, and in the off day, we were farming consumes for the next week.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty brutal.
it was straight up just raid.
Yeah.
You're always raiding, right?
Yo, thank you, Delort.
We cleared everything in 49 days from launch.
Yep.
Wow.
Faster than OnlyFans even entered an MC.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We were slow as shit, dude. MC was so late.
Oh yeah.
But It was a lot of fun though. I ended up dying right on the last boss, which was really sad, but
Oh, I remember that clip actually. I do remember that. Everyone bowing to you at the end because I remember you kept raid leading after you died. so like,
yeah.
and then everyone
I mean,
like,
I have to.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Be like, that was so cool. Like, that's like I've never seen that before. You know, obviously it's like a devastating thing. Your character dies after all that time. Like you're so far, and then you don't even have a millisecond to, like, you know, be upset about it. You have to because you gotta keep everyone else like. You know,
I mean, that's the thing when
going.
you're hardcore raiding, it's like you accept the fact that you could die.
Yeah.
Yep.
You kind of got to get that out beforehand, I think.
Absolutely. Do you think that where WoW is at now, is there much of a future for any hardcore content that you see yourself diving into? Or would you say that
I'm done with hardcore.
You're done with hardcore? Era's done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, Frontier, by the way, we just finished another Frontier challenge.
Yeah,
We did it all again.
No
with
world buff.
buffs. That was our most recent challenge.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
And
I think I saw a clip of it too.
That was that's what made me quit, I think.
Just because of how
it was just grueling, bro.
mind numbing that journey is. that, like,
now the problem with hardcore is when you're raiding in hardcore, you lose too much. So people quit all the time. The turnover in hardcore is so high that you go in, like we went into this 3 months ago with a roster of 160 people. And we had to bring in like bench people, like people who hadn't raided for a long time. Like we barely had enough to finish it.
Bro, I almost was like, dude, I was feeling bad for Ampie because they were going to attempt KT, and I was like, are they going to have enough people? After, you know, however long it's been, I think we started in June. And I was like, dude, do I need to reinstall WoW right now and just come on my pre-bis warrior to KT so that they can go through? And I was like, dude, if I have to, like, if they literally, if it came down to them having like 39 people and they were going to try it with 39, I would have logged in. I'm glad I didn't have to do it, but it was getting bad, man. I feel for him, and I understand why he wouldn't want to do it again. It's just too hard to get enough people that are interested in doing the challenge and are willing to just go again after losing 10, 20, 30 days played on a character.
So like 3/4 of our guild quit.
Wow.
Over the course of 3 months. And it's just because
I was one of them.
You put in 20 days.
I quit not because I wasn't necessarily interested in the challenge. I quit because RuneScape was popping off, and I was like, hey, what's going on over there? Like, hey, I've been riding this skateboard for a long time, and I like skateboarding, but I see them on their bikes over there playing RuneScape, and I might want to be a bike rider. You know what I mean? And then when I went over there and I rode that bike, I said I don't want to ride that skateboard no more. So I had to tell Ampie I was putting my skateboard up.
Of your life / play, not even like real time, right? Like you're talking like time invested every day,
right?
And then you DC and you die.
Yeah.
You go into a dungeon, the server crashes, 5 people die. Just stuff happens all the time that isn't even in your control. Not even, there are stuff that you die to that is in your control, but I think hardcore isn't sustainable without some sort of a little bit of protection. Like I know RuneScape has escape crystals, right? I don't know how they work. I've never used one.
Yeah, there's a few things that old school has that can potentially help you for sure.
Right. There's like some barrier. In classic, there's no barrier. If you DC, you're on the game for about 1 to 2 minutes. It depends on I don't know. It depends. I've seen people on for a long time after they DC. So even if you DC in like low level content, you might just die.
Yeah.
Because some random mob patrols onto you and then you're in combat and just like you don't disconnect fast or whatever. It's very frustrating to play classic and invest your time in when
if you're playing hardcore with the sole purpose of raiding, hardcore is not the greatest design. Hardcore WoW. It's too punishing, like what Ampie says. If you die to anything that's, you know, especially if it's out of your control. Like in OnlyFans, we got DDoSed. We got DDoSed and lost half the raid. And Blizzard did the unthinkable. Like a week later, they announced they were going to bring all those characters back to life. And they have never done this in the history of the game. And that's just, it was like a huge thing that they did this. But a lot of the hype was lost. It didn't feel the same after that, and ultimately we just did one BWL and then it was over. But if WoW steals something from old school RuneScape, these escape crystal kind of thing, like, I don't know how they would do it, but it would be nice if there was, some kind of DC protection or something. I can't personally figure it out, but it would definitely be nice. I like that RuneScape has that. It's just they're two different games. It's hard to implement RuneScape stuff into WoW. It just, some stuff just can't be stolen.
There's such a high risk of things going wrong that you can't really control.
Right.
And that's what makes me not want to play.
Very understandable. Very understandable.
Like there was a point where like the meta is to just not play. If you're doing anything, even if it's a minor upgrade, you shouldn't do it because the risk is higher than the reward.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's how I felt as soon as I hit like level 50. Like I was just like,
yeah, as soon as you get your gear, now instead of helping other people get their gear, you stop logging in because you don't want to risk that character dying. So then you have all these geared people who could be just like pumping people like the new 60s through dungeons and like feeding them and trickling down the gear. And instead they log out forever. And now you have all these undergeared people trying to do dungeons together. Right. And it always works like that. Nobody in full gear ever really wants to like help out because they're risking a character has way too much gear that's going to have a starting spot in the raid. And so then they just level another character. That's how it always works.
it's like, dude, everything I need to do is super safe. And then once I hit 60, I barely wanted to farm pre-bis because I was just like, I'm already here. Like I got here, dude. I don't want to like throw it all away. So that definitely makes sense.
So that's what I found is that hardcore at its core creates for a lot of people a mental state that like you'd rather not play. It breeds not playing the game.
Yeah,
that's terrible for a game. That's not good.
Yeah,
you don't want to not play. But yeah, that's why I'm done. I'm done playing hardcore unless it's like some event for fun. I'm not going to do any more challenges on hardcore. Wow,
that would make sense.
Times, man.
That's a lot. That's a long journey of stressful staying alive and redoing it and going again.
It's
as
terrible,
they say.
man.
Yeah,
especially leading it is the worst because you have to like be the person who they talk to when they're quitting, right? So you're constantly seeing your friends quit the game.
Yeah,
it just like takes your day. You like you finish raiding in hardcore and you're just like just log off and like melt.
Yeah, given all that, given your history of turning into this absolute gamer, I think it was probably around like somewhere in July, maybe August, I don't remember. You started playing old school RuneScape alongside a lot of other WoW players that found their way over here. But you personally, what was your initial reason, aside from seeing other WoW guys try it? When you looked in the direction of old school, seeing these guys try it, what was it that made you want to create your account and log in?
I think the fact that they had been playing for like I didn't start until people were kind of deep in RuneScape.
It's the same take I gave. If I see YouTube, we are live on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, say yo real quick. Someone came in and said they couldn't find the YouTube stream. Yeah, we got the homies right here on YouTube. We're live, man. I think you just can't find the stream. It's must be tough to find today or something. I don't know what's going on. A bunch of people on YouTube tuning in.
Right. I was like, Sardaco was on like day 40, Joker day 20, stuff like this, and seeing them committing to it for like multiple weeks, like closer.
This is exactly what I said, bro.
Made me think like maybe there is something there. It's like really fun or engaging, whatever. And I think that's what made me log in. I was in the middle of Frontier, most recent No World Buff thing, and we were in like a super raid log status mode. We were just raiding like twice a week, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I logged in, and originally I was playing hardcore Ironman, not ultra, hardcore Ironman blind, like kind of like Guzu's approach. And I did that for 2 days. I was killing frogs in Lumbridge. I was killing this that was my XP farm. You know about the frogs?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Pretty good. Anyways, so I was farming.
No, dude, I saw Ampie was doing this playing with no map, and I was like, this is crazy. I could never do this. Like, how is he not frustrated out of his mind right now? And I think he kind of felt that sentiment too. He stopped doing that.
I farmed my own set of bronze armor or tin. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, the bronze.
Whatever, bronze armor.
Yep.
I farmed that. I was blasting, and I woke up day 3. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm done with blind, dude. There's too much in this game. And I unleashed myself, and it was so much fun. I've been blasting RuneScape with the tips, with the tricks, with tutorials, whatever. But I've been having a blast with it. I'm like, at this point, it's kind of hard to keep track because I've been going between games. I'm like, got like 44 something days in. We're doing like Cursed Gauntlet and
yeah. Well, but prior to making the account, like I'm assuming you'd heard of old school RuneScape. Like what?
Yeah, there was
impressions did you have like before you made an account?
My impressions of RuneScape was like ultra like giga nerdy.
Yeah.
Like, the friends that I had that played RuneScape were like degenerate sweats.
Really?
The best, in the best way, right? They were degenerate sweats. So the only exposure I had to the game were like people that were like 1.5 ticking teaks all day, or like doing just like bullshit like this. Like they're ticking chinchompas, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And that was like my initial reaction. I thought the whole game was like that.
Interesting.
You're just like doing this like weird like interaction between your inventory and the world, like between ticks, and it's just like that's the game. That's what you do.
That's so funny. I don't know if I've ever talked to anybody that had known, like, I guess it's because you had friends who were like sweating the game like that.
Yeah.
But most players didn't, like, they don't learn about that until they're like a week or two in. Like they don't even think about what a tick is. So like that stuff is so foreign to new players. So that's really interesting that you had that knowledge going.
I didn't know about the ticks. I didn't know about ticks or the mechanics. I just knew what they were doing. Like I'd seen them play, and
they were like clicking weird.
This is not fun, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're just clicking all over the place. Like what is this?
Yeah. So, but you knew there was that side of the game,
right?
Like,
yeah. These are the degens that like I'd play WoW with, and they'd be playing WoW while playing RuneScape.
Oh yeah. So did you expect you'd have to be like doing weird shit like that right away, or
that was my expectation?
Yeah,
like just logging in, you have to do that right. That's like the tutorial, right? You got 1.5 tick teaks in the tutorial island. I'm pretty sure you do.
That's so funny. That's awesome. What was your thoughts on like the graphics of old school? Just looking at it first glance, do you remember like what you were thinking?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's just weird.
But that's the charm. I mean, classic WoW's graphics are pretty terrible too, in a lot of things. I've been playing games that are like super old. Graphics don't matter to me at all. I don't care.
Yeah, same.
The only thing that turned me off about the game initially, like before I started playing, was the play style, because it's click to move,
top down, click to move.
Yeah, that was what was hard for me to even want to play, I think, because I come from WoW and I come from playing all these games like where like it's WASD, have hotkeys. And
yeah, the clicking to move, I feel like would be probably the weirdest part for players who have never
crafting
really
level 79
that click to move if you're just used to WASD.
I will say my friends back a long time ago did try to get me into RuneScape, but I never did anything. I logged in to Lumbridge. They gave me a fire staff, I think, like 100K, and then I logged off with their money.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's initial.
It just was it was like so much. They're like, all right, now go quest. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go play WoW.
Yeah, I've had so many friends that have been in your position that I've tried to get them to play with the exact same story of just like why what is going on, like this is not for me, like immediately kind of thing. Yeah. But how many days did you say you played before?
Dude, the questing, I think the questing got to me, and the skilling gets to me, and the dailies, weeklies, everything gets to me, but I think it gets to me on a smaller level than others. Like, it's not enough to make me quit, but I don't like it, but it's not enough to make me quit. Like, the good parts of the game are worth not liking the skilling. And like tolerate it. I can tolerate it. Like, I can tolerate the skilling. I don't like it, but I tolerate it. I think Joker likes the skilling. So he's OP. He's OP for RuneScape. So there's different people. There's like Joker, who is born to be an Ironman, me, who tolerates Ironman, and then people down here who are like, this is not worth it, and then they quit Ironman because the skilling and the questing and everything is like, dude, why am I doing this? I just want to do the combat. So you have like, and I feel like a lot of WoW players are in this category. Like WoW players live in this category, like questing, skilling is not for me. How can I just do the combat? And if these people play Ironman, they will quit. It's just a fact. We've already seen that. And now I'm realizing there's 3 types of people. People born to play Ironman, and it's just different doses of Tylenol in a way. It's like there's like a triple doser, which is like a UIM, a double doser, which is an Ironman, a single dose, which is the tolerators, and then there's the quitters, which are no dosers. So like those are the 4 different types of people who play RuneScape, and you got to figure out who you are.
Before you started like not worrying about the whole going in blind thing.
2 days.
2 days.
It was 2 days,
Okay.
and I was losing my mind.
Just like trying to understand everything
The whole
blind.
chat was spamming pause champ. Dude, I talked to Evil Bob, and the chat was spamming, no, you're gonna lose hardcore Iron Man. And that's what really did it for me.
Yeah.
Just saying, no, GG. I'm just like, dude.
That's so funny. So, but once you started, like,
He's experiencing getting trolled. RuneScape has a lot of trolls, and it took me a while to figure that out, that not everyone is actually helping me. There are some people that are just trying to get you to quit as a streamer, or they think they're being funny, but as a new player, you're frustrating them and you're making them not want to play. And I don't know if you care, but you are doing that if you think you're being funny. And that's something that was hard to get used to. And I don't know, you might think you're being harmless, but you're a small portion of why these people quit. And that's just a fact. Dinakina, any trolls in the chat? Yo, thank you for the 25-monther, Dinakina. Hope you're doing well. I see you're playing some Ultra. Playing some Ultra with the boys. That's awesome. Ultra's really popping off. I can't lie. I've been watching some Zaryu streams every now and then, and it does look fun. It does look fun. There'll be a day when I play WoW again. And TBC hardcore looks fun. I will say, if that has a scene, TBC hardcore, I might have to make a character.
embracing the tips and tricks, that was like your first week. So what were your impressions of the game after you started embracing that stuff? Like, what were you feeling as you started experiencing the game?
I was sweaty, bro.
Sweaty immediately?
I mean, I treated it sweaty though. Like I was playing a lot.
Yeah.
When I was first starting, I was playing probably 17 hours a day, maybe 18 hours a day.
Wow.
So I was like sending it, dude.
You're just hooked?
Yeah, I was pretty addicted after I think, you know what it was? I think it was all the stats got me addicted.
Oh yeah.
Where like you get this dopamine of like your attack is 45. Oh shit, okay. And then your like strength was up. You're like, whoa, another level.
Yep.
RuneScape incorporates your skills so well with like
It does.
the other skills that you don't even realize you're leveling up your skills until you get the levels and you're like, oh, it just keeps coming. It's just like perma dopamine.
Yeah.
Especially early. Where like
early on, that is
gets you
true.
hooked, I feel like.
Like you have so many skills you're leveling up, and a lot of times you're doing 4 skills at once. You don't even realize it. It's great. Like right now, if I show my stats, it's like, dude, here's all the skills that I've been leveling up in like the past day or something. Like this is crazy. Even just like taking an agility shortcut, I gained 5 agility XP. You know what I mean? Like here's all the skills that I accidentally leveled. I didn't even know I was doing any of these, by the way. I thought I was just melting sand. But this is all the skills I've been doing from just today from logging in.
Absolutely. Especially if you're playing Ironman, you just realize how intertwined all the skills are, like how much they work together all the time, no matter what you're doing. Yeah, that's definitely a cool thing to kind of like feel the satisfaction of seeing all the number go up, working together, like knowing that every movement you're making, every resource you're gathering is for a reason. Like it's not a complete waste of your progress to do something in the game. What were your impressions, like your initial impressions of RuneScape's progression systems compared to like more of this linear journey to level 60 in classic, like, and then you start
like leveling up versus total level?
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
you're not just fighting, you know, because I mean, if you were to do a parallel,
I like it.
You like it? Yeah.
I really like the RuneScape system. In fact, the RuneScape experiences that I've had make me wish professions were like RuneScape.
Yeah.
In the
Same.
sense that like, you know, you level up like maybe a little bit more intertwined, you know, with your daily gameplay. But it's not. In classic, you kind of pick an herb, you put it in your bag, you forget about it. It doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
for the most part,
Yep.
right? It doesn't matter. In WoW, they try to do something kind of sneaky with their professions. They make you have 2 profession slots only. The reason being
no
to create
simulators,
social
Waken.
friction, so you interact with other people. It's like, I need a blacksmith, and they are intertwined, right? You need a blacksmith for enchanting, and you know, whatever, leather worker for an enchanter. So you need like more than 2 professions, to the point that playing self-found, you can't do what you can in RuneScape. So I think that it makes me wish that there was, like, you know, unlimited profession slots in WoW for some sort of like single player mode, kind of like how RuneScape has it, where you just can do everything. You can chop a tree, fletch the arrow, and then you know, poison it, whatever. I don't know. I don't really know the interactions.
Waken, thank you for that gift sub.
I mean, yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I think it gives a more of an adventurous feeling, like on an immersive level of like in WoW, it quite literally is a profession. Like it feels like you're assigned an actual profession. Like if you're mining and blacksmithing, like those are your things. That's what you go do. Every other resource in the world, you don't even glance at it. It's not shining on your screen. You know, it doesn't matter to you ever. Whereas in old school, it's kind of like you are everything, whatever you want to be, whenever you want to be. This world is yours to interact with, like no matter where you are, what you're doing. So it definitely adds to that immersion factor. I was definitely missing that when I was playing World of Warcraft for the first time. I was like, I want to do all these professions. Why am I not allowed to do everything? Dude. What do you mean I got to reset if I want to do the other thing? Like that sucks.
Damn, dude, Jimmy went into WoW with like this RuneScape-esque mindset. Of course, as he should, but he was like weirded out that there was lockouts. He's like, what do you mean I can't like do this raid again this week? Like he didn't understand that concept. And it's crazy because WoW players were used to being like, oh yeah, it's just, you get 1 raid per week. See you next week. You know, that's like such a normal thing. And he was like blown away by that. Because in RuneScape, you play as much as you want nonstop. Even when you're sleeping, you try to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like cool. WoW almost like brainwashed me in a way where it's like I didn't even have that like perspective until I played RuneScape, because I'd only played a game where you can only have 2 professions. Right. You only get the 2, and it's like, okay, well, that's just how it is. Yep. But then when you play RuneScape, you have everything. So I'm jealous of your guys. RuneScape, I feel like RuneScape in a lot of ways has aspects of the game that I wish were in WoW. I really do.
Yeah. Do you have like different examples of what
I wish there was more fleshed out single player combat?
Yeah.
Like
the WoW, single playerness of RuneScape is amazing.
Controversial. A lot of people's like, I mean, I even say it, I think social friction and like group content is the core of the MMO World of Warcraft experience, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think it would be cool to even if it's just not the normal game mode, just to have like a league where it's like it's just solo WoW. That's the game mode. It's solo WoW. You have all professions. You know, the raids are tuned for you to do solo. Whatever, right? I think that would be really interesting. I think that it's really freeing in RuneScape to just log in and it's like, oh, I could go raid.
Yeah, buyers. I love that. I love that I could just go do a TOA, and if I was actually not dog ass at the game, I could go and do a TOB solo, or I could do a Cox solo. But I can't because I'm not good enough yet. But like the option is there. You just got to get good, and I like that.
Do anything I want to do. And WoW, it's not like that. It's like, oh, it's not 8 p.m. Oh, I can't raid.
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge hindrance, I think.
Yeah, I think that's something that I really like about RuneScape, the ability to just log in and do anything you want, maybe outside of like TOB.
Right. Yeah. Unless you get insane, which most people never do. Yeah. So I guess to bounce off of that, I'm sure you've heard this expression that I don't even know if it's mostly WoW players saying it or if it's like this phrase that old school players have kind of picked up to support old school over WoW when the WoW guys are trying it. But there's this constant saying of progression matters here versus the whole seasonal feeling of WoW, like especially retail. I know you don't play retail, but
no, it is in classic too.
Yeah. So like when
you have a 14-month time window to experience classic and then it's gone again.
Yeah.
It breeds FOMO and it doesn't. Yeah.
So do you feel like that expression does actually apply here?
Definitely. I mean, I feel like for me, it's a little bit harder because I feel like I kind of got up until like the last week, I got trapped in this cycle where I was almost like pseudo competing with other WoW streamers in the sense, like in my head. It wasn't even like there's no competition, right? It's just RuneScape, we're all playing solo. But like part of me was like, oh, I want to get first infernal cave.
Yeah, like this competition and stuff, we kind of like memed about it in the chat, but I feel like the chat took it to like another level, like the competition thing. And then Guzu was like, dude, I don't know where this competition thing came from. And I do kind of feel that like we were all kind of competing, but now I think that's gone. Like we're all just chilling now. Everyone's going at their own pace and it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Like, I feel like everybody's chilling now, but it was kind of like this unspoken thing that like we were all competing or something. Because like everyone was wondering like, who's going to do this first? Who's going to do this first? And yeah, that it wasn't very healthy. So I'm glad that we're all just kind of like chilling. And everyone's like, yeah, go at your own pace. Like, don't worry about it now.
Hey, if I want to do this first, right? Like, it'd just be cool.
Yeah.
It's like almost like friendly, like competition. But since I stopped that, it's definitely really nice to know that it's like I could come back and stop, like come right back to where I was, have the exact same progression. There's no like, maybe there's some devaluation if like skill things happen, but like I could come back in like 2 years and it's like my character is still in the same place, same progression.
Yep.
Ironman.
Pick up right where you left off, basically.
Go back to CG.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a nice feeling knowing that, you know, if you log into your character that you haven't been on in a few years, it's like if you really wanted to, if you kept a note of what you were up to, you can, it's still on your path that you would be taking anyway, sort of thing. So it's nice. It's super. I've found that it's relatively quick to catch up to updates and stuff. Like and none of them are mandatory either. That's the cool part, is even if you want to participate in like endgame stuff or raids, like you don't need to have the best of the best gear, like best in slot everything. Like you can still do that content even if your gear is like outdated by a few years. So you're never like pressured to go get that new expansions gear and, you know, all that stuff. So that is nice knowing that it does actually apply, because I couldn't really speak on it too much because I don't have too much experience with. I've had some experience like my Wrath character's gear being immediately destroyed by like the second quest I do in Kata, sort of thing. Like
Star will do Inferno first. Joker will get Achievement Cape first. Yeah, and Strobeck was the first one to get Bofa and quit. So like everyone's got like their first thing going on, and that's totally chill. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Everyone's got their thing.
I mean, I have a character with like endgame best in slot heroic abyss from Wrath. If I log in right now, my character is like worse than a level, like it's 2 expansions behind. I haven't played in 2 years, 3 years, whatever.
Right.
So it's just completely gone. Like it means nothing now, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
And that's something that I really do like about RuneScape's progression. Like
Savix was the first one to get 800 KC
like
at Titans.
If I get like if I end up getting something like a scythe, I will always.
Ain't no way.
Oh yeah,
it's like you're always just gonna have that item. At least in Ironman, I think that progression is very big. I don't know. I can't even speak on normal game mode. I've never played it, like non-Ironman. So all my perspective is Ironman.
Yeah, which honestly I think is good, because it really is like it's nice to have that, like
it's almost the same path. It's like, you know, everybody that's Ironman that's done XYZ has done kind of the same experience.
Yeah, it definitely opens up that whole tips and tricks avenue of getting down all the methods that you would never really know about. And
I was thinking almost in like, it's like your rights or whatever. It's like your trial by fire, you know,
like the rite of passage sort of thing.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like you have like these, like the rites of passage, like, oh, you soloed your first fire cape on Ironman. Nice, bro.
Yeah. Where's your account at now? Like roughly?
I'm like 1650 total level.
He's a bunch of runs into CG.
I'm like 100 runs in.
Nice.
100 runs. Damn.
That's where I'm at. I don't know if that's like a good perspective. I've got like 120 quests done. It's like not everything, but a good amount.
Yeah, that's a big chunk.
Got some of the I got all the big quests. Like I haven't done Monkey Madness 2 yet. You talked about that earlier. I haven't done that one yet. I haven't done all the like the really higher end quests.
That was my last one I finished.
Those are, I guess it'll depend on how much you're embracing the tips and tricks part.
Yeah.
But what are your impressions of the old school quests here, like in comparison
Bro,
to fetch quests and stuff
They
like
piss
that?
me off.
The old school, old school
He
quests?
doesn't like the quest at all.
Some of them.
Some of
Yeah.
them for
Underground
sure, yeah.
Passage made me
Oh, Underground Pass? Oh, dude.
Underground Pass.
Iconic, yeah.
I definitely feel like RuneScape questing has been fun, but they just put some things in to just like mess with you.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
Like there's some things where it's like, oh, you're gonna fail this over and over and over and over again,
Yep.
and you're gonna love it.
Yep. I
But
mean,
Rat
you're
catchers
impressed.
I don't love it
Boys,
You
sometimes,
did,
but I don't love it sometimes.
you don't love, you,
No, I don't. I don't want to fall on agility ever again.
yeah. Yeah. Did you follow the WoW player meta of
Emmy, oh,
getting
Emmy
high
too.
agility
Yeah.
levels very early on to run more and
No.
not fail? No, I mean, it was so funny when everyone was first starting.
MEP
'cause
too.
Everyone started just rushing agility.
People were
out of
mad at me for
nowhere.
not doing it in the chat. People were like, "Why are you not doing agility? You have 20 agility. Stop questing."
That's so fun.
Dude, that is kind of the game though. Is like your first trial of fire when you play RuneScape is like, all right, get your agility to like 68 and get your full graceful. Like that's just like, yeah, don't do anything else until you do that. Like go do that and then like go to the wilderness and run big bones to the altar until you get to 43 prayer. That's like the 1-2, you know? You could do them in either order, but and it's like, all right, then do like all the waterfall quests, get your combat to like do like waterfall, gnome stronghold, port hazard quest, whatever that's called, and like and fighter not fighter cave, but like fighter duel thing, and then like get all the XP, like get all the free XP, get your combat level up, and then just blast from there. And like that's like what a lot of people do.
Funny. Yeah.
It was bad, bro. I will say, dude, the it's so funny. RuneScape is definitely a game where people love to tell you their opinion on it, on how to do
absolutely.
things, and that's been a really enjoyable experience for me, dude. We've got the Aboba emote in the chat.
Yeah.
Everybody, we've got
Boba goes
it's been really
crazy in
funny.
this game.
Backseating is crazy.
Especially now that I know.
The thing is, guys, I've realized that backseating is worse in sandbox MMOs because there's an infinite more amount of ways to like get your character to like wherever you want to go. And then some guy comes in and he's like, you actually don't want to go there. You know what I mean? And then there's like 14 Abobas telling you how to do the goal you actually want to do. And then there's this guy, you know, you're not supposed to do that yet. You know, you should be doing this. And then there's that guy who's just coming in with the Aboba out of left field. And you're like, brother, who asks? Like, it's just so many Abobas. It's hard to like just like pick which one to listen to.
Oh, who was giving bad advice? Before I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I was just following bad advice and good advice. But at least now I know, like you can definitely, yeah. Anyways, it's been fun.
Well, I hope when you do experience those like later quests, you find more enjoyment in it because
That's
they
the
really
beauty
are.
of the
'Cause a lot
game.
the ones that frustrate you that you're talking about, like
Depends on who you ask.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
like Morning's End Part 2 where you're failing the
Yep.
obstacle and shit and the light puzzle and stuff. Like those are 2006, 2005, 2006.
Yep.
So it's like those are very old design quests. Like there's some good writing and everything in those, but the old school team, like starting in 2016 on, like they actually started having quality written good quests, and it's a treat to go through and see like what they've made out of this original world from the early 2000s and how they've like evolved the story. They've done a really good job of it. So hopefully you'll enjoy those more than the earlier quests.
I definitely do because I can tell like Varlamore came out recently because the quests are so much better.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just not as like punch you in the face kind of difficulty.
Oh yeah, they're good. So what would you say your favorite sort of experience with old school has been in terms of activities of like whether you're grinding a skill out for a while, like kind of like the repetition, or you're like going for a drop at a boss or like CG sort of thing. Like what do you find yourself enjoying the most?
I think the most enjoyable thing for me in RuneScape is getting something unexpectedly.
Yeah, that is a good feeling.
Like for example, doing something not knowing there's like some rare reward and then you get it. And it's like, holy shit.
Did you
There's
have
so many
something like that happen?
opportunities. I don't I did
Trying to
early,
think,
but I
trying to think of something that I got like just by surprise. I'm sure it happens a lot. Like, oh, I get that from this. Like, oh shoot, I just got that. Wait, that drops from here. I'm sure that's happened a lot, but I can't think of like a specific one that I remember right now. I guess the pets. Maybe the pets is a good one. Oh, the debone necklace. Yeah, I was doing Vorkath. That's the best one. I was doing Vorkath to get the backpack, and the necklace dropped, and everyone lost their mind. They were like, "There's no way." I didn't even know the necklace dropped from there. The dragon bone necklace. That's a great example of one.
completely forget. I did though.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Find the clip.
Yeah, right around the time all the WoW guys came over, I started a group Ironman with my friend Walnut, he was in OnlyFans as well, and I've done winter tot like I don't even know how many times over the years.
Oh, the Cox
barrel.
purple? No,
Sorry.
I'm not. So like the thing about the Cox purple, I know Cox drops purples. I know that pets drop in the places that I'm at. I'm not expecting to get them, but I know they drop there. Like Dragon Bone, I didn't even know that item existed when I got it. Right? That was like truly unexpected, and I use it on almost everything. Like it's been a massive like come up on my account. Right? It's been a massive like item that I've used, and so that in itself was like huge for me.
Oh, the barrel from
Yeah, I got the fish barrel
Temperos?
from like my like 10th Temperos or something.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I got the fish barrel very early too. I got on my third one.
I had no idea that you could get a dragon hatchet from winter tot because it's like 1 in 10.
Oh, dragon hatchet! I would love that.
So
That's
I
crazy.
pulled it out of the cart out of nowhere, and it was like the biggest shock of all time. Like it was on stream and everything, and I was like, I can't believe I'm this surprised at seeing something in the game right now. Like it's 2 times rarer than getting a pet. Like that's how crazy it was. So it is a very, very good feeling, like having something like that happen, and it can always happen because unless you know every drop table of everything, you'll just stumble across that stuff. But what are your thoughts? Like, I'm assuming, are you going for like Bofa right now in CG, or are you just doing it for like money?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going for Bofa. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But
You just heard it's good.
People said that I do that.
Yeah.
So that's
Dude, I know that like I had always wanted to go for Bofa because that was like a personal goal of mine. I asked chat on day one, like, what are the best bows in the game? And they're like T-bow and Bofa. And I'm like, okay, do I need both? And they're like, yes. And then I was like, all right, well, they're like, but you'll never get a T-bow. Like it's too far down the line. And I was like, okay, so I'll go for Bofa then. Like they're like, you can get a Bofa like reasonably in like a reasonable amount of time. And they're like, yeah, probably in like 6 months you could get one. And I was like, all right, that's the goal then. Screw it. And like on my first day of RuneScape, I was like, I'm gonna go get a Bofa. And that kind of like just steered my entire path. I now understand why it's so good. And it's because Bofa is not type damage like T-bow, where like on like Bofa will out DPS T-bow on the gem crab, for example. Bofa is just like flat damage, good against everything. T-bow is like a specialized weapon that absolutely like slaps high magic defense. You know what I mean? Like Bofa is just so consistent and good against everything, and it doesn't take ammo. So like for an Ironman, it's like the weapon, bro. It's so good. And I've been absolutely loving the gameplay and the combat now that I have the Bofa. And insane range and like it's just amazing, right? And then the crystal gear, it has prayer, pretty good defense. Like it's just an all around great set.
I don't really know the stats on it, but apparently it's good. And then my plan is just to kind of like do all the bosses. That's my goal in the game, is to do all of the bosses available. You know, do like Infernal Cape. And so I need the gear.
It's a fun journey to go on of kind of like the stepping stones up to the Infernal Cape. What is like
the peak? Sorry, is Infernal Cape the highest thing? What is the highest like difficulty?
What's the hardest? I mean, there's only 2 things, right? It's just Fire Cape, Infernal Cape, and then I mean, obviously Zuckhelm is the hardest. But what's the hardest thing to get that gives you like power? I mean, there's only 2 premier like solo single player challenges. It's just Quiver and Inferno. I guess Blorva, is Blorva harder? Radiant Oathblade or Blorva? Zuckhelm, Blorva, Radiant, Inferno over Quiver. The blue Infernal Cape in 2029, you think they're going to come out with a harder Infernal Cape challenge? Dude, if I'm a RuneScape right now, guys, I'm thinking about another Coliseum Inferno. Like, if I'm a developer for RuneScape, these solo player insane challenges are the best part about the game. I love them. Or another raid or something, man. Mage Cape. I think for Mage, they have range and Inferno is melee. So yeah, they need a range challenge. They need a mage challenge. What? Okay, me and you guys, we're gonna design a mage challenge right now. What mage challenge would they add to the game? And what item would it give? Mage, you fight Odablock in the Wildy with your cash stack. Okay. Vampire raid, a mage cape upgrade. A mage cape upgrade. A flaming mage cape. Mage cape 3. The mage cape was supposed to come from Doom. So we might be getting a electric mage cape. Mage Arena 3. The Mage Arena 3 challenge. Could be happening. Could be coming soon to the game.
Boss.
So,
You know?
I mean, it's up for debate because I think Infernal Cape was 2017. It was like the first big, huge, crazy solo challenge. But now there's challenges like the new Delve stuff, which is kind of like that infinite floor thing. That's like the newest high-end content.
Oh, interesting.
Where you just see how far you can go. There's like the Awakened bosses from Desert Treasure 2, which is basically just
Blorva.
buffed out versions of the quest bosses that essentially
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
see
I
how
remember
much
seeing the video for
cosmetics.
that.
Yeah, you'll see all the cosmetics that come from, you know, beating these
Distorts,
crazy
thank you for the
challenges,
prime.
like the Radiant Oath Plate. I think it's called Radiant Oath Plate.
Guys, I want to get Infernal Cape, then Quiver, and then go for Radiant and Blorva. That's got to be my path in this game. I mean, there's nothing else that makes sense. There's nothing else that makes sense, bro. What else would you do in the game? Like, those are the coolest things to do. Is there a 500 TOA kit? You sound like Showbeck. Oh, for Fang. There's a Fang kit. Ooh, we got to do that too. We're going to have to do a 500 TOA solo. Damn.
It's like the sickest armor in the game. It looks like a stormtrooper. Like, it's new and it's badass. But to get it, it's very, very hard. Like the Yama challenges that you have to do, like the contracts are crazy. So the bosses themselves are hard, but the hardest content comes from the combat achievements, because that's when you have to start doing things in a
Because Zark,
certain
thank you
amount
for
of
the prime.
time, or doing it without using a prayer point, or, you know, like all this crazy shit. So that's where the insanity comes in, to get like the Zuck helm, like the end all, you know, cosmetic to show everyone that you are like the best of the best. So yeah, in getting your Infernal Cape and getting the Quiver from the Coliseum is like your introduction to the craziness. Like,
Okay.
that's like the first big thing, and then you'll start doing what your friends were doing with those teaks, but with combat sort of thing. Like, you're gonna be marking tiles and timing ticks, and, you know.
Oh, I'm doing that, dude. I'm ticking them already.
Good.
I'm ticking the ticks.
Very good.
I was not ticking the ticks. Ampie got into ticking the ticks way before I did, by the way. Like, I still don't tick manipulate, and the first experience I have with tick alternating and one tick flicking was literally in the Inferno, almost 60 plus days played into the game. Like, he was ahead of me by a lot as far as like advanced combat tactics goes.
Oh, that's good. What are your thoughts on like these long repetitive like CG grinds?
Tick a
Like, you're
knees.
going for a goal?
Okay.
Oh, I don't like them.
You don't like them? You don't like
No.
doing it over and over again?
I understand why it's so grindy, but I definitely wish it was a little bit less. So
Yeah. No, I get
like,
that.
I think I would have
yeah.
a lot of fun with like a league or something.
Oh yeah,
that sense.
have you tried the Gridmaster?
I didn't.
No?
I didn't try Gridmaster.
What's
I'm
Savix
all
get?
about a different game right now. I'm playing
What have you been
Fellowship.
playing?
It's
Yoo-hoo.
Fellowship just came out. He's like it's like a WoW dungeon simulator almost.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of it. Fellowship.
Yeah, I mean it literally just like this week. So
Oh, gotcha. When I talked to Sardaco, he actually said that he was kind of refraining from trying like a gridmaster / league vibe because he was so focused on his like main account he didn't want to like waste any time playing temporary game mode yet on his first year of like grinding the game out. So it's kind of like a mixed opinion on whether to try it as a new player or not. But as someone who's played a long time, I'm loving the dopamine right now. It's feeling nice. It's so cool.
I was watching some dude play and he was like getting like 5 times of XP doing one thing.
Oh yeah.
He was getting like agility, strength, like I don't know what he was getting.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's the systems are nuts. It's very crazy looking at.
I definitely want to try it the next league. I want to sweat the next league. It looked like so much fun. I was watching, he was this bald guy. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, there's a lot of bald streamers in RuneScape, so it's not very helpful.
Maybe it's Oda block.
No, it's not.
The guy
why is he calling us out?
I think with your playstyle, like I guess that's assuming that you'd like to continue.
Fox.
Fox. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I was watching his run at the beginning of Gridmaster and it was insane. It was super cool to watch.
Yeah, he's got a whole I actually looked at his notepad, his like gameplay. He's got like a step-by-step plan all the way up to like through the grid. It's crazy. But yeah, I was assuming that eventually you'll really enjoy like kind of just actually embracing that speedrun / sweat side that would like carry over from your speedrunning days.
I'm literally already itching to do it. To restart and do it faster.
Yeah. You said you're playing a different game right now, which is very healthy. Not many RuneScape players would follow in your footsteps, but I think it's a very healthy thing to do to not only play RuneScape. But
people say I'm quitting every day.
Yeah, that's a big problem. It's a big problem that RuneScape audience has is they cannot stand.
Why you quit?
Yeah, they can't stand it. They think the worst of the worst if you're playing anything except for RuneScape. Like they don't know what to do with themselves. So it's a problem. But would you say like right now you still find yourself like pursuing goals to the point like you see yourself playing for a long time and you're gonna keep grinding things and
I want to kill all the bosses. I 100% will not quit RuneScape until I kill all like Inferno Cape, Coliseum. I don't think I'm gonna do Zuck Helmet, to be honest. But
that it would take years.
But okay, hold on. No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. Look. Listen. Do you know who Settled is?
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very good friend of mine. When I came to him and I asked him, how long do you think it would take me to get a Zuck Helm? He said
never.
At least a year or two. And I said the same thing. I said, why do you fucking hate me? Why are you saying that to me? I thought we were good friends. He said, I'm not kidding. He's like, the amount of knowledge that you need to have for some of these things is so absurd. You will waste months of your life trying to achieve these things over and over again, like because of how hard they are. He is one of the best players to ever log into this game to like understand the systems. He does not have a Zuck Helm. Like it's crazy.
Well, that's because he's doing his Swampletics, man.
That series been done for fucking 3 years.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's doing some crazy shit probably.
He does a side series where he's going for it. It's just takes forever. I actually don't know where he's at with it. I'm looking at his latest episode. Yeah, no, he's not there yet. He's not at his Zuck Helm yet. He has
I just googled it. The AI said no. The popular old school RuneScape creator does not have a Zuck Helmet.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
He's not there yet. I just checked. I was like, I don't know how that grind's been for him, but it's also one of the things where the goalpost keeps extending
because they add more bosses.
Right. Yeah. So you have to, you lose it every time. You lose that helmet every time that a new boss comes out with combat achievements. So you have to get it back. So it's like
Quest Cape.
Exactly.
That's kind of cool. I think that's really cool as a system.
It is. Yeah.
I like it.
Now it's not like that. They'll kind of like have an achievement. If you get it, you keep your stuff forever, even if they like make it harder to get in the future.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it is a cool system they have. You gotta earn it back, like prove that you still like deserve having it, sort of thing.
Collection seems like a big part of the game. I was watching.
Does Sard have a Zuck Helm? AI answer says yes. Yeah, we gotta mod that AI in the chat, man. What the heck?
whether it's achievements or diaries or combat achievements or even just combat log or collection log. Like I feel like there's a really good collection aspect to the game. WoW is missing. The WoW Classic doesn't have that really.
Yeah.
Retail does. It's good like for collectors and people who like to gather pets or mounts or whatever, like cosmetics. The Classic doesn't really have that. And that's definitely something that I wish it did in some way.
Yeah, that would be a cool system to have in, like, I guess, because in retail it's like the mounts that people are going for, right? Mostly, like it's like that's the big collection thing. It's got like the pets here, but pets are just insanely rare on old school. But the pet hunters are very, very real, very out there.
I was watching a pet hunter.
Yeah,
an Ironman pet hunter that had like 4,000 clues made. I was like, dude, this is not healthy.
Yeah, they get pretty insane. It's ridiculous. We've been going for a while. I've kept you here for a long time, but I do have one last question, probably the most important question. What would you rate old school RuneScape out of 10?
I would give RuneScape a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right, where are those 2 points getting docked?
It would be 9. It would be 9 out of 10 if I didn't have to do dumb old quests. And it would be 10 out of 10 if I got a Bofa next run.
All right, but look, you use Quest Helper though, right? You got the fucking arrows flashing all over NPCs, items highlighted. All right, it's not that bad then.
No, it is that bad because the problem was, as a new player, the new player experience is not fun when you don't know where Brimhaven is.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know where XYZ is. So I'm like, I have a Quest Helper, and then
I can say that RuneScape, when I was doing, so on my main, when I had to redo Desert Treasure 1, I had more fun doing it the second time than I did the first time because I knew everything that I had to do. I'm a type of person who enjoys being in the known. I don't like being in the unknown. I don't like the learning portion. I like the mastering portion and seeing how fast I can speedrun what I already know. I love that phase. So I see why you guys like doing 2, 3 accounts, 4 accounts, because you have more fun on your second account than you did the first time when you were like just frustrated the whole time doing the quest. And so maybe the quests wouldn't be as bad the second time that you do them, but the first time you do them, I don't like them. You know what I mean? But the second time actually wasn't that bad.
And I have shortest path, and the shortest path actually should be called the longest path because it tells you to go somewhere thinking you have like a teleport unlocked. So as a new player, I'm like walking to a spirit tree. I don't have them unlocked. And then I go to the spirit tree and it's like, teleport to here. And it's like, I can't do that.
That's so
I have
funny.
to turn around. Like it was really hard. I think the first like 20 days, I was so.
There is a wiki which says everything you need to know about OSRS. Ziffy, thank you for letting me know about the OSRS wiki. On my 64th day playing the game. I cannot believe I didn't figure that out until now. Damn. Thank you, buddy.
Frustrated questing because I didn't know the world. If I restarted right now, I definitely would like quest more.
Yeah.
But man, I got like, it was so bad for me.
Yeah, there's definitely
really
like
early.
a
Wiki
learning
unlocked.
curve there for
The world is massive.
It's huge, yeah. It's so big and there's so many ways to get around. Like
There's so many teleports.
yeah, I still travel inefficiently. Like having played just fucking almost 20 years, I still don't take the most optimal route almost everywhere I go because of how many different ways there are to
We know, Jimmy. We know.
get different places, where to go, like how to get there. But I think you're in that unique position of like you jumped from blind into full blast tips, tricks, quest helper, highlighting everything.
I'm telling you guys, y'all underestimate Jimmy. He knows something that we don't. We're all like, for me, I'm trying to get to like the end game. I'm trying to get to the Infernal Cape, the Colosseum, the Blorva, the Radiant Oathplate, the Zuckhelm. I'm trying to get to the end game. Jimmy was in the end game day one when he logged in because Jimmy just enjoys walking around and talking to people. Jimmy's been in the end game the whole time. You know what I mean? He's just doing his thing. He's in the end game immediately. Like, he's winning. The joke's on us.
To the point where it's like there was no in between section. So it's like you never had that full like exploration experience, but that's okay. You really That's the beauty of RuneScape is you don't need that aspect of the game if you don't want it. Like there's a way to enjoy the game differently. Like everybody has their own way to enjoy it. If you can cut.
To be honest, I really liked enjoying exploring the world. Even with Quest Helper, it was really cool.
Yeah, it is still
and seeing all the places for the first. There's still places I haven't gone on the map.
Oh yeah, there's so many places. There's places I haven't been. Many places I still haven't been because of the content you'd have to.
Bro, I wonder why like Czar and Ampie and these guys aren't still just at least hitting the crab. Like in the event that they ever come back, you know what I mean? Like even if I quit RuneScape, I'd probably still get my combats to 99 on the crab. Just in case I ever came back. And then if I came back, I'd be 99 everything. Unless I really thought that I had no chance of ever coming back. I don't know. I'd still be star mining or something. Like it doesn't take much effort to do the really AFK stuff in RuneScape. I think even if I quit RuneScape, I'd still be playing on the second monitor, which is not actually quitting, but like, I don't know. It's just ingrained in me now to always be like, yo, if I come back, like I'm going to be 99 mining when I come back. You know what I mean?
Do to get there, or if it's new, it's like there's always somewhere. But well, I mean, I hope you keep playing.
You can max without playing the game. JPC, that's tech right there.
I think you can. You're a gamer, dude. You're not gonna have a.
When me and JPC go back and we make a competitor for Liquid and Echo, and we're doing our world first thing, trying to be like the next big thing. We're still gonna be playing. We're still gonna be AFKing our RuneScape accounts.
Problem doing it. It's just gonna be those repetitive grinds. Those are gonna be your obstacle. But I mean, you're no stranger. You're no stranger to long grinds, so you'll be fine.
That's why you never quit. It's too easy to AFK on the side.
For
it is
taking your time out to talk with me about all of it. It was a ton of fun. Interesting hearing about all the WoW hardcore stuff and the history behind it. It's very interesting.
There's so much. But I mean, I've been playing the game for like 20 years. There's so many things.
I bet, man. It's crazy. Yeah. But all right,
man. It was a blast. Thank you, man.
Big thank you to Ampie for sitting down and talking with me. That was awesome. Kind of hearing about
Ampie
behind
interview, man.
Like where it came from, what was going on with it. That was really cool to talk about. So I'm super glad that he found some time to talk. All of his links are down in the description. Make sure to go tell him hello if he's streaming. Subscribe to his YouTube. You know the deal. You know what's happening here by now. Just show him some support. Next episode, I'm talking with someone who was actually a part of my first ever Nomergon run alongside Soda Poppin' and Grubby. She out DPS'd me, which I chalked up to her just being a more experienced WoW player, and then I learned she was playing on controller. So
all that to go back to hardcore WoW, I have a feeling that Zaryu and Ampie went back to WoW for the same reason. These guys are very big deals. These guys are very big deals in World of Warcraft. And if you're a streamer and your income is off of playing WoW, sometimes when you transition to a new game, you don't like your following doesn't go with you. So it's, and it's not to say like it's just about money or anything, but like it's also a feeling that you get like to be in your element. Like he's in his element when he's playing WoW. So he probably just missed being in his element. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. It's tough to transition to a new game. Like I got really lucky, boys. I got really lucky when I moved to OSRS. I had more success playing OSRS than I did with WoW, and I love OSRS. I'm very grateful. But I wouldn't want it to be the other way around where like I had to play WoW in order to be a streamer. Like I'm very grateful that I was able to survive playing OSRS. So W's in the chat for everybody that watches me, man. Thank you guys. Shobek did the opposite. Yep. Well, that's like something that's really cool about Shobek, right? Is playing a game that he doesn't enjoy is not worth the success for him. And even if he's going to have less success, he's going to do what he enjoys. And that's admirable about Shobek. Like I look at that as a strength as well. Both of these are strengths to me as a streamer. Is like Shobek's going to do what he wants to do, and that's just, it doesn't matter about the viewership. It doesn't matter to him. And that is awesome. And for the guys that went back to WoW that want to be a part of that, that's also a strength because they're valuing, their careers, and they're putting the strength and they're putting the strategy into their careers. And the guys that are going back to WoW now, they are going to be extremely successful a year from now when Classic WoW comes out, because they're going to have all that viewership when WoW Classic comes out a year from now. And so they might be thinking about the future too. And so that's also very good for them. You can't force people to love OSRS like we do. Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. You know, and like I said, I do think that some of these guys, you know, might have just been playing the wrong version of OSRS, but that doesn't mean that they would have loved it. There's no way to really make people like OSRS. They either like it or they don't. Like I said, I am a single dose Tylenoler, maybe more like a 0.9 dose Tylenoler, where like anything less than a 1 dose is like, I'm a tolerator of Ironman. I love the idea of Ironman, but I'm kind of just barely cut out to be an Ironman. Whereas like Joker's, he's like a double doser. He was like born an Ironman, you know? So like there's different doses of people who play RuneScape, and I really love the combat achievements and everything. But I feel like maybe Ahmpy and Shobek, they may be like a less than 1 doser who would have still enjoyed the game if they weren't Ironman.